Welcome to The Breakthrough with Stephen Houston, the show that takes you behind the scenes with successful entrepreneurs, real estate investors, and other movers and shakers in the business world. In each episode, we'll sit down with our guests to explore their personal and professional journeys, including the challenges they faced, the breakthrough moments that propelled them to success, and the strategies and the tactics they used to get there. Get inspired by new ideas and strategies and get to know our guests on a deeper level. Join us for candid conversations, powerful insights, and plenty of breakthrough moments. Please help us grow by subscribing and sharing the podcast, and welcome to the show. I'm thrilled to introduce today's guest, Miriam Gilmore. She's a mortgage broker with a unique perspective on the evolving real estate landscape. In our interview, Miriam shares her journey in the industry, from adapting to market changes and skyrocketing rates to finding her voice in video content creation. She shares the challenges of balancing a boutique business, exploring different marketing avenues, and the struggle to find authentic topics to discuss. Miriam's insights into the investor market, hot Florida areas, and her experiences with creating video content offer invaluable lessons for both newcomers and veterans in the real estate field. So get ready to dive into the engaging conversation that's sure to inspire and motivate you on your real estate journey. What's been going on since we met?
So much.
Yeah,
I got married, so that took up a lot of my time.
Yeah.
I got married, the business changed, rates skyrocketed, all that happened. Mm-hmm. So, luckily, for me, things have been steady as far as like business flow. It's a little slower, but I wouldn't want to say slow. It's just different, like the way that the loans that are coming in. But it's been good. But then the whole piece of the marketing and the video and all that, trying to fit that into my world has not been as easy or as much of a smooth process as I thought it would be. I don't know if it's because I've thought it, if I'm overthinking it, or if it's because it's actually like I'm wearing a lot of hats. And I do have an assistant. I had her full time with the when the market changed a little bit, I kind of went a little part time just because I didn't have as much craziness. So there was a lot of things that I can handle on my own. But then sometimes I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have put her switch to part-time because now that would, that freed up my time. Mm-hmm. So, all that kind of stuff. And then the quality, I think we all really want that really nice quality so that, the whole progress versus perfection, I have to, do more of that.
Yeah. I think, I don't know. I kind of got to that point where I was like, I don't care where I'm at. I'll do it in my car at Chipotle, just shoot content. Because sometimes I just have some interesting thoughts and I just want to get it out there. But I think it is one of those things you just have to, it's consistency. You just got to keep doing it. And I think some people have maybe a little bit more free time to do it. Some don't, it just really depends. I mean, who are you seeing from the Academy? Who do you follow?
Like I follow that. I know he's like doing great. Will. He's doing, Will. But like he has a different setup. I can tell. I mean, I don't speak to him. I don't have a personal relationship with him, but I can tell he has a different setup. I know he has like a loan comes in and he gives it off to his team. And I feel like he's just kind of out there getting the business. And, I'm still doing things in the business. You understand? I'm still, structuring and like talking to clients, and I'm still doing a lot of that. I'm sure he does that too, but I feel like it's more of a handoff, and I'm not there yet. I don't even know if I will be there because I don't know if I want to, I have a small boutique business. I'm not part of a big company. Right. So I don't know if I will get to that point where I'm just going to do a handoff and just be, because of many things, my setup, my age. Yeah. I don't know if I want to do all that and have, 15 employees again and go through all that.
He's kind of the face of the business in a sense then. Yeah. He's the one that's out there shooting the content, putting that
and
out
bringing
there.
in the business. So I do that on top of, other things.
Right.
So it's just a little bit more on my plate, I think,
Yeah. Do you have a hard time trying to figure out topics?
Yeah, that's the other thing. I think, and I don't know if because most of the things that I see about that you post are Airbnb and different, I know you do restaurants and stuff like that, like local community
Mm-hmm.
stuff. But like I have other, like sometimes I really struggle to not say some of the things that I want because like, I'm in a different stage in my life. I got married at 50, I turned 50, like,
Yeah.
and I feel like that's such a big part of myself now, and
Mm-hmm.
it's just part of me. And I feel like, should I talk about that? Maybe I shouldn't. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I struggle with, should I just keep mortgage, mortgage, mortgage? And I think people get bored of that too. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's well, here's a good example. I follow a lady who's a realtor out in Texas. And she gives tips and talks about the local market, and she does restaurants and things like that. But she wears really cool Nikes. She's a sneakerhead, and
Okay.
today she did a video on the unboxing of a new pair that she bought in Vegas.
Right.
And people know that she's in the shoes, she's in the sneakers, right? So
Right.
she posted that, and that grabs a particular audience as well, because there's a lot of people out there that are sneakerheads as well that love Nikes, and so that grabs to that. So I think it's about putting out just content in as much of it as you possibly can about whatever you want to talk about. If you go to a cool restaurant, you should be talking about that restaurant, because that can gravitate towards somebody, and that could potentially be, a lead down the road.
Starter.
Yeah, it's a conversation starter. That's the big part of it. But you're right. It's hard because you don't want to just talk about mortgage the whole time, and most people not sitting around, trying to get a loan every day, but they want to follow you for what you're doing. And now that you're married, are you guys traveling, or what do you do? Do you work out? Do you go fishing? What do you do? And I think that it's kind of painting that picture to in the broad. I mean, at the end of the day, you're doing better than 98% of everybody.
Yeah.
If you really want to think of it that way, there's a lot of people that won't get on video.
Oh, I know.
And you're doing it, so, and when you do get on them, you do a great job. Have you been pulling from, Neil's? Do you go to are you in his, course, his, mastermind?
I do the call that you do, like that he does Tuesdays or whatever for loan officers and realtors, but there's another one that he has that's like a level up, and people like it's coaching and all that, but also live events. So included in there, you get to go to live events. Like he had one in Vegas, and no. So the answer is no. I don't know who that is, but I don't know if she's in. Like I don't know. Do you do the Tuesday weekly call, or you don't do that one?
I'm not. No. How is that for you? Do you like it?
It's good because he gives you scripts, right? And the scripts are really good to, to bust, like when you can't get an idea out or whatever, you can see the script. And a lot of times, like I'll just like edit it a little bit and make it more to what I sound like. And so it's good in that way. It's just like one of those things where you don't even have to think about it. Right. So to put out, and that's like when you're putting out specific mortgage content or mortgage information, but it's very general because a realtor can use it and a broker can, mortgage broker can use it. But again, it's kind of generic, and multiple people are, a lot of people are using it because even though that's really, if you look at Instagram and how many millions of people are on there, I mean, he probably only has, I don't know, 500, 1,000, maybe max 2,000 people on that call. Right. I don't even think that much, but still, those are the people who are using it. If you have a lot of people in your area who subscribe, then they're maybe doing the same as you, and
Yeah. That was the thing too. I struggled with that after getting out of the academy. I put out those videos that we got through. I mean, that academy was awesome. I mean,
it was great.
The videos and the photos. I mean, the stuff just I keep using the photos for, different marketing collateral or whatever. My newsletter, I'm using the photos now, on the newsletter. Yeah. So, I mean, that thing was worth every penny of it for me. But I couldn't see myself doing the type of videos that were generic for me.
Yeah.
That's just,
and they're great for Neil. I mean, and for a lot of them, but I feel like they're the originators of it. Right. So, I mean, and again, I'm doing them but I don't know. I struggle with that a little bit. I'm like, do I sound authentic or like, and I don't really think that there's many people in my market who, are in Neil's academy. So it's
Mm-hmm.
kind of like unique for me. So I can probably get away with it. But I know there's a lot of people like in California who've gone and stuff like. So I don't know. I don't really know. But I do like to put out other types of content. But I got to be honest with you, I've been a little lazy when it comes to really sitting down and thinking this thing through of what I want to talk about. And so
Yeah.
I just go with it because it's easy.
Mm-hmm. You should start a list and start jotting down a bunch of topics and things.
Mm-hmm.
And, have you used Chat GPT? Have you heard
I
of it?
logged in. I went into that. I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing. But I haven't sat down to actually make it work for me. I kind of just played around with it and tested it. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. The Chat GPT is crazy.
It is. It's a game changer, but I
So
don't know what's
crazy.
gonna go with that.
Oh man, it's so crazy. I went and shot a couple videos on different security cameras and door locks for like Airbnbs or long-term rentals, and took the brands. So I went and shot the footage at Home Depot, did an intro outside, went inside, did all the footage, came back to my media room, and then I was like, okay, I got to research this product now, or I have to like Google something and get all this information. And now I got to write, and I'm not a good writer at all.
Mm.
And so I was like, wait, all right. So I went to Chat GPT and I said, write me a minute script on this product, and gave it the name, and it just busted it out real quick. So then I took the information and I got my microphone and I just read it word for word, and then stuck it into the video, in the background.
Nice.
And
Yeah.
it just saved me so much time.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah. I plan to embark on that journey. It seems pretty I don't know, it's just I feel like it's gonna change like a lot of things for a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely. I used it on my website too to
Oh, yeah?
rewrite. Yeah, to rewrite part of my website. I used it on my listing out in Smokies for the cabin.
Oh,
So
nice.
we kind of slowed down on bookings, and so I went and I rearranged all the photos, changed the title, and then changed some of the description. And then within 24 hours, we had just tons of bookings.
That's so
I mean,
cool.
a lot
That's
of it was
great.
about, there was a lot of things that went about it, but, it lowered the price a little bit. But, it saved me. I did everything in, less than 20 minutes. I mean, I would have been sitting
Nice.
there trying to figure out how to write something. I'm just not a good writer. But
I
I
have
can
a
come
place
up with
in
the
the Keys. I
ideas.
should do that. We have an Airbnb in the Keys. I should definitely try that out because my husband did it, but I doubt he put too much thought
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah. And then ask it to, write something that's SEO friendly. It just does it.
Oh,
It's
that's
so
great.
crazy.
That's great.
So what has been going on now that the rates went up? What are you doing more ARM products right now? Like how did you pivot? And like, what are the type of clients that are coming to you? What are they looking for?
You know what? I'm not doing any, I mean, I've done a couple of arms, but not like conventional arms.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've done arms for, like with as a wholesale broker with a bank. So
Okay.
because they're much more attractive. Like for Fannie arms are just not attractive.
Yeah.
I've done a couple of the buy downs where you buy down the rate for a couple of years. Those are popular. People like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been able to do a few of those. But I've done a lot of investor loans as well. And those are typically higher rates anyway. So people aren't that like they're scared off with it because they
Right.
were expecting a higher rate anyways. So it's, so that's I've done a lot of investor loans lately. So I feel like that's why it's been kind of easy because it hasn't been like a hard, investors aren't so, they're not so rate oriented. They just want to get the deal.
Right. They want to get it
So
closed.
it's, yeah, they want to close and then they'll figure that out later, which is really at this point, the way to go, in my opinion.
Where are all these investors finding you? And how did you get to working with investors?
Referrals, just because I've been in the business for a long time. So I have, realtors who I do business with and friends. I've been in the
Mm-hmm.
same community for really my whole life. Really, I was born and raised here. So I have all the same connections and, it's been such a long time that people just, they know, that this is what I do.
Where are your investors buying? All over?
Sorry?
Where are your investors buying?
Yeah, all over. Some are buying. I have someone who's buying up, Central Florida, but the Brickell area, a lot of people come, a lot, especially foreigners come to buy
Mm,
in Brickell and
really?
Midtown in that area. Hmm.
What markets are really hot right now in Florida? Like if you had to go and invest in, let's say a long term or let's say a midterm rental, do you know about midterm rentals for like traveling
Hmm.
nurses and people like that? Where would you go in Florida? What
I know
markets
that
do you
there's,
see
Orlando is always a hot market because there's always so many people, you
coming in?
know, coming in there. It's such,
Yeah.
especially in a concentrated area, right? Not the entire, area of Orlando, but the area that's close to like Disney World and all those the theme parks.
Hmm.
That's hot. That's hot. Brickell here in Miami. Brickell is it just that I don't see. I
What's
mean,
that place?
any. Sorry,
What is that place? Tell me about it.
Brickell is like the little mini New York of Miami.
Really?
Everybody from New York City has moved to Brickell. Like they're all there,
Huh.
and that's why the rents went up astronomically because they got to Brickell and they're like, I can get all this for how much? Because it was like half whatever it was in New York City. And then you got the beach, 10 minutes away, and you have all the bars and all the, so all the beautiful restaurants. It's where all like, Bad Bunny, I think, has a restaurant there. There's like these beautiful, beautiful, beautiful like restaurants that are just coming out of everywhere in
Really?
this place.
Hmm.
Yeah. There's a place called Gecko. And I think maybe that's Bad Bunny. Gecko.
Hmm.
There's one called Sexy Fish, and it is spectacular. I haven't even gone in because to get a reservation is like crazy. So I haven't really made my way down there, but it's super super cool, very trendy. All the my daughter lives over there, so every now and then I'll go visit my daughter, and we go.
Yeah.
It's very
What is it?
cool.
Um, what is what's the price point like? Like, what are you getting for your money?
Over there, I would say 800,000 and up, everything, all the condos, which to me, like, it's pretty, even though it sounds affordable, but like the associations are pretty pricey.
Right.
And still what you're getting for, in my opinion, because I'm not into the condo, I've never really been a condo person, but
Hmm.
what you get for your 800 or 900,000 to me is very small, but
Right.
people love it. And here we go, New York City, everybody's apartments are teeny, tiny. So it's probably bigger than what it is in New York City, honestly.
Yeah. They're going for the location, the experience of what they're going to do outside the condo more so, right? The
For
restaurants,
sure.
the beach and the shopping
Yeah.
is like more
Yeah.
the bigger drivers for them
Hmm.
and the weather. They're probably
Yeah.
and the
Yeah. Yeah.
taxes.
Yeah. Yeah. And the
The
taxes. Yes.
taxes. Uh,
All that good stuff.
hmm. What
So tell me, what you're like. So from all the videos that you're doing and all the content that you have been putting out, um, so is it driving business to you? Are you having more conversations? Like, how is it? What's it doing for you?
Yeah, so definitely a lot of awareness for sure. A lot of people reaching out randomly on all different platforms, which is pretty interesting. So, um, I think before the March, the Ford Academy, my very first couple videos got me a big listing, a $3 million listing. And so that
Nice.
really started off. And so what I told myself was like, okay, I'm going to take this 100 grand and I'm going to put it towards this. I'm going to create a team and I'm going to spend this whole chunk of money, no matter where it goes. Either I'm going to
Hmm.
make it or I'm not going to make it. And that's what I set myself up for. Put a team together and obviously learning as we go on putting out content. And that's,
Hmm.
I think we got into it as in a kind of a weird time period as well. It's not the wild, wild west of growing on Instagram like it was if we would have been in there like 2019 or 20. But I don't know if that really matters. I think that the minute you get on video, you instantly have more credibility. And I think more
Sure.
people are going to see you, whether it is on Instagram or it's Facebook, and it doesn't matter how big your following is. I think people just gravitate towards video.
Yeah.
So, and you never know what video it's going to be. I got a new listing and it was on a video about how to vet your property manager, how to understand, when they're going to hire a contractor to fix, do a repair at a property, that you make sure you get different quotes. And that particular video was put onto Instagram, then it was put onto Facebook, and then on Facebook, a girl that I grew up with who lives in Arizona saw it, reached out to me and said, her mom had passed away. They had a house and it was rented out, and they were having problems with the property management, just things they had to repair. And then she's like, I don't know if this is a good idea to keep this property. It's only paying me, like $3,400 a month, but it's worth 1.4 and it's paid off.
Right.
And she's like, what would you do? And I'm like, well, I can say that if my parents passed away, I'm going to sell the house, and I'm going to take that money and I'm going to invest it, and hopefully invest it wisely so that my daughter can, have that money and she could, just keep passing it through.
Sure.
And so that's what she's going to do. I got her a financial advisor, and she put some of the money into the markets, and then we're going to sell that house, and then she's going to buy investment properties. And that came from 1 minute video on Instagram over property management.
Yeah.
Just like
agree. That you just never know where it's going to hit it,
Yeah. You never know. I've had several other people reach out that are, wanted to buy, want to sell. Mostly it's just awareness. And I think that if I would have went down the rabbit hole with Neil's content and kept into more that, casting a wide net type content, probably could have grown faster. But I don't even know what that really means. What does growing faster mean? Is it a credibility play when you have 10,000 followers compared to 1,000 followers? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think
I don't know either. I mean, I see, like, I saw Neil, or I saw Will. Will went from like 6,000 followers to like 20,000. I'm like, that's a lot. And I mean, that's great. But, and for me, it's taken forever to, like, it's like, and then I see these guys that they've like deleted their accounts and started over. I'm like, should I do that? I don't know.
Really?
They've like Neil deleted his account and started over and was like back at 40,000, like overnight, not overnight, but like pretty quickly,
I didn't know that he did that. He deleted his account.
At one time he did, probably a while back ago, maybe even before we went to the event. But he did delete it. I don't know why. I don't know why he did that. And then he restarted it again.
Yeah, I heard that story. I think that he had bought followers or something, and he just got the wrong followers, and he didn't like it, and he's just said screw it and started from scratch and went for it. Yeah, that's interesting. I think that what I'm just trying to do is I'm trying everything. I test everything in stories. I try to stay on top of that, and I'm trying to do different types of content. I don't want to just talk about real estate or real estate investing or Airbnbs.
Yeah.
I'm going to start putting out more content on biking, like racing and that kind of side of things, into reels, not just stories. I'm going to start, putting in there. I think more of it creating a brand where people can go, I'm going to follow him because I'm into biking. I race too. I like mountain bikes. And so, if that comes to a buyer or seller down the road, then great. I do think that creating content is going another direction as well. I just had my first consultation with another lady that reached out who wants to buy investment properties. She lives in California. They want to do an equity line on their house. They want to pull out $100,000 and they want to go buy investment properties out of state. So I had a consultation. I charged for the consultation, and I'm going to charge to consult them to buy their first investment property out of state. I'm going to do a consulting thing. So that's another, great. And these are all things that I really want to do. Like, I love, consulting. I love now it's just like, well, I'm going to get paid to do what I like to do. And I put all this time in, you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
And would I have gotten that if I didn't make content? No, absolutely not. Yeah. Nobody even knew before. So
that's awesome.
I think that I think you'll find, you just talked about all those restaurants. All that information was super, you just gave great info. Like, you just did what you should be doing right then. Right. You told me about all these restaurants. I go, oh, and I know now, like, you told me,
right.
Like, so I know to go there. These are the restaurants. Gecko. Right. Gecko? You said Gecko, right?
Yeah.
Look at that. Yeah. So I think just You should just be sprinkling all kinds of stuff in.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because I watch a lot of TikTok, and it's funny because on TikTok I do more stuff, and on TikTok I don't know what it is about TikTok. I'm just more free. I don't care. I just talk about
Yeah.
whatever I want to talk about, and I have more interactions on TikTok, which is weird. I'm like, maybe I need to bring this over to like IG because I'm like whatever. I'm talking about my elderly mother and how hard it is to take care of her, or I'm talking about divorce or getting married later in life and what that's like, and dividing finances, like prenups, all this stuff. And I have a lot of people reaching, like when I do, a lot of people making comments. The few times I work out, I put it on there. And I feel more free there. It's bizarre.
Yeah, it's the platform's so much different. You can just
Isn't it?
do whatever you want. And I think probably because you don't have the same followers,
Yeah.
so you can kind of just do what you want to do when you want to do it. Yeah.
I think you're right. Right. And it's funny because I do, like, some of my past clients have found me on there. And they'll send me a message like, hey, I saw that video about whatever. And I'm like, oh, did ya? Whoa,
Yeah.
What else did you see?
That's great. So what are people saying about you putting out videos? You get responses?
I always get wonderful responses. Every time I go to like a big event, like where a bunch of my friends, like a party that friends of mine are at or whatever, I always get positive responses. They're like, hey, oh my God, that's so great. I wish I could do it. I don't know how you do that. It's, so people are very positive about it. And like they're so they are tuning in, even if somebody doesn't like your video or whatever, they are watching. And I have gotten business from it. I closed a loan last year from a video that I put out on Facebook, and a realtor who I had done business with probably almost 10 years ago reached out to me from the video and sent me a client.
There you go.
I mean, and I did get very good response when I started doing video, and this is probably like longer than now, but on LinkedIn. On LinkedIn, I got about 2 or 3 loans from LinkedIn from people I didn't even know. They weren't even people. I don't even know how they found me on LinkedIn, and they reached out for a loan. So I don't think I've kept up enough as I should have, because like my assistant who puts my schedules my social media, for some reason she was putting it on my business page versus my personal page on LinkedIn. And we just had a meeting about that the other day. I'm like, everything's going on my business page, and I get more interaction on the personal page. So I just need to be better about putting stuff out there.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's just getting that rhythm together, and go on days where you record a bunch of stuff, like batch it, like put as much, just record a bunch of different things. Those days when you really feel like you're on a roll, like those, for me, when I have a day where I'm like, oh, okay, I'm putting out this, I'm doing this, I just create a bunch and then I just save it. Now I think I have about close to a month worth of content. I could just stop for a month if I wanted to and not have to worry about it right now.
Yeah, that's definitely the way to do it. To do it. I feel like I get, at least for me, if I'm not feeling, that feeling that you have to like be, like I force myself sometimes, and that I need to make me force myself more often, I think, because I don't always feel like, hey, what's going on? Like sometimes I'm not feeling it. And then if I'm not feeling it, it'll be for days sometimes, and I won't do anything. And then I'm like, shit, I didn't do anything. I didn't put something out there. So.
Or in those days, you can do other types of content. There's carousels where you could put like little information, or you can do videos where it's, just you working on the computer, but you put captions together and something. Like
no, not even. I mean, like now people, how they have the video playing, and then it could be anything. It could be me, like not even pointing at me, like as I'm walking, pointing at the street, and you could just type with music in the back, type whatever you're thinking or whatever you want to say.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do those. I like doing those. They're those easy.
Cool.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And people like them.
Totally. Because it's visual. It's visual.
Yeah.
I mean, this was, I think, early 2021. I had a listing, and there was the lender for this buyer was out of state in Oregon. And every Friday he would send a video. Not the greatest video, just him like, hey, just want to tell you what we got going on. Hey, got the appraisal ordered, they're in underwriting, needed some docs, everything's going good. Just wanted to give you the heads up. Have a great weekend. Done. I remember every Friday came, I knew I was going to get a video from this guy. Like, he's
That's
etched
cool.
in my brain. And he wasn't like he was some amazing, guy on camera. Like, it's insane. I think people have missed that. I think it's easy for us to get in our own heads.
I agree.
Is what I'm saying.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
I think sometimes the raw stuff is even better.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like, you have to have the polished stuff to sprinkle it in with the raw stuff. That's
Absolutely.
kind of, yeah.
Yes. I'm 100% with you on that. And I think too, doing these like podcast type content, this will give you, weeks of content. It's crazy. That's what's so cool.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
It is.
It's a good idea. I'd never used Riverside. It's called Riverside? Riverside.
Yeah. It records better quality. It separates the file. It separates the audio as well. Where Zoom, if you make Zoom videos, their Instagram doesn't like them. It's not pretty enough. It's not the same quality either.
Nice.
So yeah, Riverside, it's about the same price.
Well, cool. I'm going to check it out for real.
Yeah.
That you said about consulting, I always want to have like multiple streams of income, right? So I've been thinking, and I took a course. Are you familiar with Marie Forleo?
No. What's that?
She's an online guru, she's like a Tony Robbins, not really Tony Robbins, but like just like an online guru lady, whatever. Nobody even, like, you might not know who she is, but she's super popular. And she made, she just kind of like walks you through a course to create a course kind of thing.
Okay.
Which honestly, I want to say I paid $2,000 for it. And my God honest answer was I didn't think it was worth the money. I just think that it was worth the community, like the Facebook, like the group, the page where everybody was on there. And I made some really nice connections there, but I'm like, wow, I paid $2,000 for this. And I didn't think it was that great. But the point is that it's about creating an online course or a membership or something like that. And listening to you, that you said that, you're able to lean a little bit into consulting. That's like a great thing. Like, I've even thought to create a video workshop class or something like that, where I can because even though I feel like, and we're having this conversation and I feel that there's people who are so way ahead of me, like Neil and these guys. But if you just look at where we are, like you said, we're doing more than 98% of the people. So
100%.
Even though sometimes we feel like we're not there, like we're just so far ahead of people who haven't even been on camera one time.
Right. If
you really think about it, it's so new in business in general. People, especially like older people, like people in our like the younger kids, they're doing it. They're good. But people like my age, they're new to this. They're like, I don't know if I want to do this. Like, I've been successful for 50 years without it. I don't know if I want to do this. So, I was like, maybe I could do something like that. I don't know. I just kind of like, I always like to do different things, or I'm always thinking of creative things to do to bring in money also,
Right. Yeah. And I think the whole investor consultation type stuff is interesting to me because, I put all that time in, and I've been buying properties, and I'm, it's more of a like, let me try to get you in the right direction so you don't make the mistakes I made. And that's really what it's all about. And it so happens that we're in a time period where people are connecting with you online through these different platforms, but they want that guidance because they see you and they trust you, and then they want to get a part of that. And I think that's great. I mean, it's just, and it's good. It's a good feeling too. It's not like you're selling snake oil, or being super sales. You're just like, hey, this is what I do. I can help you the best I possibly can.
Right.
But yeah, it's going to be an interesting year to see where some of this goes. And I think that, the best thing I can say is that, we just have to lean into doing more. Just do more.
Yeah.
Because you're good at what you do. I see your videos.
Thanks.
I watch them. You're very good on camera. What kind of camera are you using? Are you using your iPhone? Or are you using a professional camera?
Sometimes, I use my iPhone for like regular like videos, but for the ones that are like the ones that are the clean, like really professional ones.
Yeah.
Those I had a videographer who was coming over, and he would come and
Okay,
we would
cool.
batch like 10 or 12 videos in one day, and it was awesome because we used the technique of like the reading the script, and I'm like, and that to me that's like everything I got out of that that weekend in Reno or whatever. I'm like, that was like the takeaway that was for me amazing.
Yeah.
So his camera is I don't know which one it is, but now I got my own camera, and it's a Nikon. I don't even know which one it is, but it's one of those nice ones.
Okay.
But I'm like really, I just got it for Christmas. I'm figuring it out, and it's still very, very new. It's a novelty.
That's good. Yeah. I use my iPhone most of the time, but I've now learned how to, like, my biggest challenge for the last few weeks, and I want to say that it took me a few weeks to do this, was to do a green screen video. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Holy crap.
On your phone, like the one on IG or on?
No, I got the professional screen in this media room.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
So I got that. I got the light up, and I used my camera, right? And shot it, sent it to my editor. He's like, your lighting's off, or there's a shadow behind you. And so we went back and forth. I finally shot it again, sent it up, put it into Drive. He looked at it. He's like, okay, this looks good. Makes the video. And it's like a full, like I'm sitting in a chair, and I'm like, look, I just need it from the top up. And he did the whole body shot, and it was like in blue
wow.
and with the captions. And I'm like, no, this ain't the right way. So I sent him a video of Gary Vee, and I said,
Okay.
like this. And then within 2 hours, he had the video done. Like, he's like, here you go. And I'm like, all right, we've moved on, but it took me like a couple weeks of just grinding through these hard. I'm not a technical guy. I don't know how to use cameras, and that's not me. It's just not, but I'm getting forced into it now. And,
we are. I mean,
I
had to, this camera is my husband's camera that he used for his travels and all this. And I'm like, well, I really don't want to spend $2,500 on a camera let me see his camera. So I started to play with it like during the holidays. And then I'm like, okay, I went in with the camera. I went to a camera shop here, a local, like small camera shop. And I paid for an hour of a lady's time who works at the store. I'm like, this is the camera. What do I do? How do I make this look that I like? How do I make that happen with this thing? And she told me and explained it to me. I needed a new lens. I ordered a new lens for Christmas. I got that. And then now I have it here, but it's, linking the mics, like the lapel mic, the wireless mic, and how do I do it? So it's just like, there's a learning curve to this stuff. So it's not just like, oh, you get it out of the box and you put it there and you record. It's just like, okay, how do I do this? It's just,
is a lot.
It's a lot. And then that's why sometimes I'm like, maybe I should just use my phone. I'm like doing all this stuff. But, I think the reason, my major reason for this camera was because when I do a podcast, and I usually don't do, I don't have guests on a lot of times, which I think I'm going to maybe have more guests on.
Yeah.
But I just, and I didn't do it because of the fact of the audio, and it's always off. And I've had podcasts where we do this whole thing and I can't hear the person, or they did it on there. There's a big echo, but this is nice. I think this might work.
Do you like this one?
Yeah.
Do you like,
So the camera was more for when I do my podcasts, I can edit that and then put that in that quality on YouTube and, all the multiple things.
Right.
So.
A lot of stuff.
It's a lot.